everybody. It's Sheryl and Kelly. And yep, you got it. It's the Sheryl and Kelly show. We're so excited to see you here again. And Kelly and I were just starting right before we hit the record button. We were talking all about things that are working with our marketing. And so that is what we're here to talk to you about. But let me give you a quick introduction in case this is the first time that you have found us. I am Sheryl Euling. I am the owner of Tutoring with Sheryl and the Tech Hub for Tutors. And I support students who are struggling readers, writers, and spellers. And then we've got Kelly. Kelly, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly Duramsky. I'm the host of the Tutoring Tips for Teachers YouTube channel and Facebook group. And I have a tutoring business called Kelly's Reading Club, where we support readers, early readers in kindergarten to grade 3. And we also do a little bit of math and a little bit of supporting older kids as well. But that's our primary business. And I'm so happy to be here today with you, Sheryl, because we always have so much fun in our chats.
We do. And we took a little time off over the summer because we were both really busy. Like super, super busy. And I think that came down to marketing. And that's what we really want to talk about today is like, what have we been doing for marketing that's working? Because so many tutors they're making courses or they're just getting started and they really just can't wrap their mind around how to do this. They maybe think, oh, I've got my website and I've done my Google profile and that's all I need to do. But sad face, that won't really cut it. You gotta be your self promoter. So let's talk
Yeah.
a little bit about some of the things that have been working for you.
Okay, well, you know what, Sheryl, as we were talking about before, I'm really focusing on Instagram right now for my marketing. And I'll tell you why, because I've made the mistake in the past of trying to do like everything. Like you go on Facebook and you see all these great marketing ideas, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. And before I know it, first of all, I've spent a lot of money trying all these different things, both online and offline. And secondly, I haven't gotten anywhere with them because I haven't been able to be consistent with them. So what I've learned is focus on one, maybe two, but mostly one thing and put all your energy into that. So I've been focused on Instagram for the past like probably 6 months, I would say. And sure enough, my business has grown a lot over those past 6 months. I mean, like it has more than doubled. I've had to hire a team of tutors to help me. I have a waiting list. It's been really, really great because I've focused on one platform, and that is Instagram. And I was going to share a story with you, Sheryl, from my Instagram account here. So you were teaching me how to share the screen here in Google.
Do you want me to
In Google
coach you
Meet.
through that?
I'm now pressing the share screen button,
Yep, share screen
and
button,
I'm
and then you
clicking on
click your tab.
Instagram. Okay, and I'm sharing it. Okay,
You did it!
can you see it? Can
Yay!
you see
Yep,
it? Yeah.
I can see your Instagram page right now,
Okay,
so I can see
good,
like your profile page and then some of the things that you've got posted.
good. Okay, good. Can you see all my other million tabs I have open at the top?
No, I
Oh,
can
that's
just see
great.
what you have. It
That's
just
great.
says Kelly's reading. You did it. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Sheryl. Because Sheryl taught me. That's why she's got the Tech Hub for Tutors. Because she'll teach you about the tech, right? So this is my Instagram. This is my Instagram profile, and I'll show it to you really quick, the feed, because a lot of people ask me about it because they don't understand how to use Instagram to get students, and I didn't understand it either. For a long time, I was like, how is anybody getting students from Instagram? I just don't get it. I would post things and it'd be like crickets. So I actually got a coach, hired a coach to help me figure this out. Her name is Katie Geddes, and she's had a lot of success in her own music business on Instagram. So she's sharing that with other teachers and tutors now, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of those tutors that she's sharing it with. And it's really her coaching has really helped me. And of course, I've done like a few, from what I've learned from her, then I've twisted it around for my own business and like individualized it for my own people. But anyway, it's been really, really working. So this is the feed, and you notice that it's one thing I notice about sometimes people's feeds that are not getting a lot of students is that all these little squares look different. But here you can see they're all kind of the same font, the same type of picture. So you want to keep this really cohesive so it aligns with your branding, so that people recognize you, right? When they go to your feed, they're like, oh, I recognize these posts. I know that person. They pop up on my Instagram feed all the time. But what I want to show you before I digress too much is this Instagram story.
Now,
This,
if you wanted to stay there, hit your pause button. Do you see the pause button up by the microphone?
Oh, the pause button.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
pause it real quick. There
That's
you
why
go.
Cheryl's the tech hub. That's I didn't even know about that. So I want to show you this Instagram story. This story is done so well. I posted this story last night, and look at that. It has 861 people have viewed it. And I only have like just over 2,000 followers. So that's not even like I don't even have a ton of followers, right? So but this story has done so well. And I've had over 16 DMs of people asking for this freebie. So just to show you, this is a really great way to engage people on Instagram, to engage your followers. And sometimes you have to give a lot, right? You have to give a lot to them to keep them engaged. So if you have freebies that you give out to like draw people onto your mailing list, then Instagram is a great place to share them because people are on Instagram all the time. Parents are on here all the time looking for ideas and ways to support their kids. So that's what I wanted to share with you about this story, and a little tip for all the people watching out there who are wondering about how to use Instagram. Well, here's one way that you can use it to build engagement and build a relationship with your followers and potential families that want to work with you.
I
Okay.
love that. I have a question about that. When they DM you, do
Mhm.
you already have it like set up with ManyChat? Are you pushing that
Yes,
out yourself?
I do have it set up with ManyChat on my main feed, but for this particular DM, I'm planning to manually DM this link to the people, which takes a lot more work. It does take a
Right.
lot more work, but I'm doing that just to see if I can like build more of a rapport with them.
Relationship, yeah.
But
I was wondering,
usually ManyChat.
are you saying something like, "I would love to send this to your email. May I have your email, please?" Or are you just sending it to them?
You know what? That's a good idea, Cheryl. I'm just sending it to them. Did I stop sharing? I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
Yay! No, I just send it to them. But it is a good idea to ask for their email. So what I'm doing is I'm sending it to them, then I'm going to follow up and kind of see where the conversation goes. And if people want to like book a call, then I'll send them my call booking link. If they want to see the website, I'll send them the website. So it's very organic. Like I'm just sort of seeing where it flows. In this case, with ManyChat, it's a little more structured. It's like that you follow
It's a
the
funnel. It's
flow, the
a
funnel.
yeah,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, that's kind of an experiment. I'm just going to see where the conversations go.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And I need to just go and study your Instagram because I think if I opened up mine, it would all look a little different.
Well,
But,
and mine used to look
and
like that too.
well, and it depends on who your coach was. I mean,
Yeah.
and maybe the systems or the ideas, like mine was supposed to be very like cinematic, and you're pointing or you're twirling or you're doing whatever. And of course, I haven't had my training for, it's been almost 2 years, I think, now since I went through my training on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I will definitely take your pointers because I think those are really good. I wanted to switch over to Facebook, and I know that
Sure.
you don't use your Facebook a whole lot, but what I can say about my Facebook account, I don't have a lot of followers. I really
Hmm.
don't. But one thing that I have found is if I tag myself on my page, it will
Hmm.
show up in my regular page. Or if I go from my regular page and tag my Tutoring with Sheryl, people
Hmm.
can see I'm with Tutoring with Sheryl. So they can
Oh.
click on my Tutoring with Sheryl and pop over and see what I've got. So I tried something
Oh.
yesterday where I did a recording for about parent teacher conferences. Sorry, I had to
That's,
mute myself. I've got my lovely seasonal allergies going.
oh
And
no.
yeah, they don't seem to want to go anywhere. So I did this recording about parent teacher conferences are coming. This is what you should expect. But how can you be ready to go? And that you're going in to work with your educator as a teammate. You're not going into butt head. You're going in,
Hmm.
and how can you be prepared? And I posted it on my regular Facebook page, my personal page, Sheryl Euling, and I tagged myself over on Tutoring with Sheryl. Now, it didn't show up on my feed in Tutoring with Sheryl. So then
Hmm.
what I did is I made a quick story, and then I
Hmm.
shared the link to my recording also over there. But I'm trying to utilize both of my pages because I've got far more people on my personal page than I have on my Tutoring with Sheryl page, but I'm trying to bring them over. And one thing that when I ask every parent, how did they find me? And they'll say, I found you here, and then I went to your social media to learn more about you.
Oh,
And I
wow.
get the answer of Facebook, Instagram. I have actually hired a family off of TikTok. That was a couple of years ago. And then, did I say Instagram? That
Yeah,
would be my
you
other
said
one. Oh,
Instagram, yeah,
YouTube.
and
I've
YouTube.
had a
Okay.
family binge watch my YouTube before.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
It's
so
very
amazing. I love
interesting.
YouTube.
So you have to be able to be a good storyteller, right?
Yeah.
To do all
Yep.
these things. And that's one thing that I think, I saw on in my Facebook group, the Tech Hub for Tutors, I saw one of our members post in there that they were using ChatGPT to create some really great like marketing information. But I think you can even use it for storytelling. So if you're like
Yep.
struggling and you're like, I am a XYZ tutor, whatever you happen to tutor, and I'm passionate about this and I support this kind of a student, then you can go in and you can say, can you give me a script that I could use to tell a story about how I helped a student overcome this? And then it's got to be a real story about you, but they could at least give you
Mhm.
an outline for like how you could do it if you're worried about getting started. And then
You're absolutely right.
I would also really caution about AI assisting things that, and I need to do a better job of this. Like if you're going to use it very sparingly and very
Mhm.
carefully because you can fall into the trap of just using it, using it, using it. And one thing I was just listening, and this is a little bit off track, but not too much, that they are now putting watermarks on things that are AI created. So
Mm.
if you are creating like some sort of a document that you're going to share, maybe say created with the help of ChatGPT or Gemini or something, and give credit where credit is
Mm.
due, just like you would do anything else. So that is just a little marketing tip that I think would be helpful.
That's a great tip. I love that. Yes. I absolutely love that. That's a great tip. Yeah. And
Now,
I use AI, but I use it more for inspiration. I don't end up using what they give me back, but it will give me an idea and then I'll use my own idea.
right, right.
Yeah.
And it can do some really crazy things. We can meet another time and talk about that. But I was going to
Mm.
ask you about TikTok. You said you
Mm.
don't really use TikTok, but
No.
you've heard other people using it. Do you think that some of the things that you've mentioned about keeping things the same all the time on like, well, TikTok to me is, I mean, and maybe you could do like picture posts. I don't really do a whole lot of like picture posts on there, but like
Mhm.
if you were going to do it, you'd want to keep your videos the same, I suppose, or keep your
Well,
font the same. You suppose?
I I don't know a lot about it, honestly, Cheryl, because I have a TikTok account, but I never use it. And what I can tell you is that the tutors I know who have had success on TikTok, they usually cross post between Instagram and TikTok.
Hmm.
So they
Yeah,
just
that
use
makes sense.
the same reel for both.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've done that too. I've done that too
Yeah.
for sure. And I've even started to try to do some lives. I don't get a lot of people at my lives. If you're going to do a TikTok live, you have to be on there for like a half hour, and after a while, I run out of
Oh.
things to talk about. So I don't know if that's necessarily the place for me. But I am experimenting because there's people in the Tech Hub for Tutors that want to know a little bit more about it, and so if
Mhm.
I'm not experimenting with something, I can't really talk about it.
That's a good
One more.
point.
One more thing about marketing for me, it would be the radio ad that I ran. I ran
Yes.
a radio ad this spring, and I got a student off of it. Super, super excited. That student's still with me.
Wow,
The student is
nice.
still with me. And
That's
then the
awesome.
marketing agent just contacted me yesterday and said, "You want to run it again?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if I want to run it again." So I'm trying to decide if I want to just run it seasonally or if I
Mhm.
want to just be on there for the whole year. It's actually very inexpensive. When you
Mhm.
I know you've boosted some ads before.
Mhm.
Um, what is kind of your baseline for like I'm going to max out at this number of dollars? Would you be willing to share, or do you say per day?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't yeah, and boosting the ad is not expensive either. I mean, it can be because you can set your budget whatever. You can set it to like $50 a day if you want, but or $100 a day. But then you I would have so many students, I'd be
I
like,
wouldn't. I don't know if I could have.
"Whoa!"
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
No, I set it between $3 and $5 a day.
Hmm.
And that has worked really wonderfully. And I boosted my post primarily to build my follower count, which is not necessarily like really, I mean, it's more important to have an engaged audience. And we were talking about this is the same is true for a Facebook group. It's more important to have an engaged audience than to have a large audience. So follower count is really not that big a deal, but I I want to have a higher follower count just because then it opens up opportunities for me to collaborate with more people. Do you know what I mean? Like the people, for example, the people who I rent the space from that I hold my in-person class, I tell them I can advertise your programs on my Instagram account, right? And it's really helpful to them because, you know, if I have more followers, then more people are going to see their programs. And it's just a way that like to give back, I find, like to give back to people that you're working with and to maintain it's a really good relationship. It's a good asset, I find. I'm not asking for them to pay me any money or anything like that,
Right.
but I find it's a really nice asset to have, not only for my own business, but to share with, like, to share other people's businesses in my network as well. So that's kind of why I wanted to build my follower count, and why I always boost a post. I continue to boost the post. And one thing, honestly, Cheryl, I'm going to tell you the truth with Instagram. If you're not boosting the post, it's just going to be so slow, and you're going to have you won't have the engagement. Instagram, I find you got to pay to play. That's what I find. I know there's going to be those stories of people that
Yeah,
are like, you
but
know,
but it's working for you, and that's why
yeah,
you're so full. And so I think that's the thing, that you're gonna have to pay for some marketing, and
yeah,
either with your time or with
yeah,
some money. And so, you can spend all day, hours marketing, or you can pay a little bit. And I've had that conversation with my husband, like, because the radio ad that I would run would cover like a 6-state area. And for
yeah,
me, that's a lot. I don't need any more. I don't need to necessarily go nationally. And I want to work with people that are in the Midwest part of the United States, because we speak the same lingo, we spell
yeah,
words the same. The school
yeah,
systems kind of run on the same calendar. And so that
yeah.
works really well for me. And so I'm thinking about, I'm weighing the pros and cons of doing a short ad, and just doing it seasonally, like when I'm like, oh, I think I'm ready to have some more students, or just being out there all the time. And honestly, I should just bite the bullet and just say I'm going to just do it all the time, because it's actually less, costs you less to have it run year round.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't take on students, then you just say, I'm full. I'll put you on a waiting list.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're always present for them, right? So they're always going to think of you. You know, today, for example, today and yesterday, I had people reach out to me that had originally reached out to me like 3 months ago, and then it never went anywhere. Sometimes you follow up with a lead and they don't get back and they kind of ghost you or whatever. They actually got back to me today and yesterday, two of them. I was like, what? They came back from like 3 months ago, and they said we're still interested. And it's because they see on
You're
Instagram,
constantly out there.
they
Hmm.
see the stories, they see the posts,
Hmm.
they get the emails. The email, don't forget to be building an email list. If you're on
Yes.
Instagram or TikTok, please make sure you're building your email list from there, because that is going to be so valuable. Like, all of those things work in conjunction together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And a great way to do that would be, like, once you send them your freebie, then you say, would you like to be on my email list? And
yeah.
you either get their email from them, or you give them the link where they can go and subscribe.
You do. And usually what I do through ManyChat, and for people that don't know what ManyChat is, it's an automation system, and we've all probably been on the receiving end of it, where a creator will say comment freebie or comment info or whatever, and then you comment that word, and then they send you a DM with a link
Hmm.
to something, right? So that's what ManyChat is the system that sends the DM. It's the automated system. So when I use ManyChat and I send them the link to the something that they're signing up for,
Right.
that link goes to Kit. And you know about Kit, Cheryl. That is
I do.
the email system that we use, right?
Hmm.
So that email goes to Kit. That link goes to Kit. They sign up through Kit, and they're automatically added to my email list. Then
Right.
every week I email my list a newsletter. So that's another way that I'm staying relevant to them, right? And I'm,
Right.
I'm,
And
I'm constantly adding value.
yes, and I would agree with that. And I've got a huge list for the Tech Hub for Tutors. I don't have like a huge list for my parents, and
Yeah.
because I was trying to build up my Tech Hub for Tutors, and I'm like, okay, I think what I need to do now is just change that funnel and go more towards my parents.
Yeah, and
and
it's kind of
and
hard
do
to
a
do
separate.
both.
It is hard to do both. It really
Yeah.
is. It really is. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun sharing, the different things that I've been finding with the people who want to know about it. So I think
Yes.
we have had a full conversation. Anything that we want to wrap up this conversation with as far as like marketing, anything else that we want to add? We do want to invite everybody to come to both of our Facebook groups.
We certainly do. We certainly do. And you know what's so exciting, Cheryl? I had someone join my Facebook group today from your Facebook group, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!" Because
Yeah.
they're really complimentary, and I always recommend whenever anyone has a question about tech or AI or anything like that, I always refer them to you because you are the expert in that area. Hence the Tech Hub for Tutors, right? You're the expert on the tech, so
Yeah, and I don't
yeah.
have every technical answer, but I have the answer for tutors who are trying to tutor online and run their small businesses that way. So that's, yeah, yeah. And it works out really well. And I think people appreciate just being able to figure out how to go from in person to online, because
Yeah.
it can be a big, big jump. So you are at Tutoring Tips for Teachers, and I am at the Tech Hub for Tutors. And they can explore my additional membership where they have a digital library and can continue to grow and get some coaching from me. You also provide coaching, and do you still have your course out? Is your course
Yes,
still
I have my
available?
course. I have my course. The course is available. We'll put that all in the links. And the exciting thing about the course is that when you join, we're going to be having a monthly live Zoom call for members of the course. So I'm going to meet with the members each month, and they're going to have a chance to, we'll teach on a topic that people are interested in. They can ask questions. So every month we're going to have a live Zoom call and create this really wonderful community of teachers who want to tutor. So we're not
Yeah.
doing it alone. We're together
Yeah.
in this, right?
Yep,
Like us, we're together in
you gotta
this.
have a tribe. You have to have a
Gotta
tribe,
have a
and
tribe.
having somebody who you can sit there and mull over ideas with is a great thing, because when you're in the classroom, you have your teacher bestie either next door or around the hall or somewhere
Yeah,
that you can go and talk to. And it's really important to build those relationships and do collaborations as well. So I
it
want to thank
is.
you so much for your time. It's been so great getting to see you since we had a little time off. And we will be sure
Yes,
to include all of the links in the description of this video. So you guys
yes.
make it a great day. And as usual, keep the learning going. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.